So I've got 5 absolute banger fragrances from my collection that nobody's talking about. Maybe a few reviewers out there that have talked about them, but these don't come up in much conversation. They don't make anybody's list. They don't make anybody's top 5 or top 10, and they're absolute banger fragrances. Most of these, I picked all of them up with the exception of one at rag stores. None of them are hard to find. One of them I think has been discontinued, but discontinued doesn't mean that you can't find it. You can still find it. It's not as cheap as what I paid for it, but it's still worth some of the prices that I've seen it going for. Ready? Let's get it. Let's get into it. And I'll go ahead and get that one fragrance out of the way. The hardest fragrance to find out of these 5, but still nobody is talking about this fragrance. So let me try to pronounce this. The name of the fragrance is either Extraordinary or Extraordinary. I think it's Extraordinary. And this is from the house of, let me see if I can get this right. Rocco Barocco. I think that's how you say that. Rocco Barocco. Rocco Barocco. I'll put it up to the screen and maybe you can. And I know this company does things in fashion. I know this company does other things in fragrance. But this fragrance right here, Extraordinary or Extraordinary, is a gem. Now, I picked this up a few years back at Burlington for $9.99. And if they'd had 5 bottles, I would have bought all 5, especially once I got it home and smelled it. I've only seen this fragrance at Burlington one time. I picked it up that one time because something about it was just intriguing to me, and I am glad that I have it. What you get with this fragrance is like 1 Million meets Le Male. Put the two together. Spice Bomb, Le Male. It's got that clean, irisy smell that you get from fragrances like 1 Million, not 1 Million, Peerless White. What else am I thinking of? What is that? Le Male. Yeah, it's got that type of smell mixed in with some of the spices that you'll get from a Spice Bomb or from a 1 Million. You see what I'm saying? It's like clean cinnamon, if that makes any sense. It's got a nice, fresh, slightly powdery, slightly leathery, but spicy type of vibe. But it is very, very grown up. So think Spice Bomb, think Le Male, think 1 Million, all rolled into one. Think maybe even a touch of what is that? Prada Luna Rosa Sport. All of those fragrances that have that type of scent profile, again, mixed in with a little bit of Spice Bomb and a little bit of 1 Million, and that's what you have here. But it's extremely wearable. It smells really, really good. Gives a little bit of a leathery vibe. Now, again, I paid $9.99 for this at Burlington. I've seen it. Man, it smells good. I've seen it on Macari for around the $40 mark, so it may be worth picking it up there. I've seen it online for as much as $110. It's not worth that. Don't pay that for it. 40 or 50 bucks on Macari or on eBay, and I think you got yourself a gem of a fragrance. Excuse me. 40, 50 bucks on Macari or eBay, and I still think it's worth every penny of that. Extraordinary or Extraordinary by Rocco Barocco. Ooh, that smells good. And I don't see hardly anybody talking about this fragrance at all. And as you see, I've used quite a bit of it, and I've decanted quite a bit of it. And also remember, anything that you see me do in a video, if you want a 5 ml decant of it, I will get it out to you for a small nominal fee. Just, again, not trying to get rich, just saying. If you guys are curious about any of these and you want to try them, I'm your boy. I'm your Huckleberry. All right, moving along. This next fragrance is from a house that I tried my best not to like. I have several fragrances from this house, from this person, and I honestly, all of them are good. All of them are good. Well, yeah, I have 3. Two of them I really like. One of them is a good scent. It's just not my style of scent. The house is Paris Hilton, and this is Paris Hilton's Gold Rush Man. And this is a really good scent as well. Really, really, really good scent. You hear me use this word a lot, and the word is modern. That smells good. And the reason that I use this word is this. 90% of the fragrances that you pick up today have a very, very, very sweet note running through them. They all have that in common, just like a fragrance from the late 90s and early 2000s had some form of aquatic twinge to it. And then we went to blue. Well, now we're on this sweetness. Now everything is sweet. Everything that you pick up now just about has that sweet note running through it. And this one is no exception. I remember wearing this fragrance to work, and my co-workers stopping me and asking me, "Trey, what you got on?" And I said, "I'm gonna tell you, but you ain't gonna believe it." And then I told them what it was, and they just kind of shook their head like, but yeah. From the house of Paris Hilton, it is Gold Rush Man. And this one, think sweet, because it is definitely sweet with, again, a hint of spice. And then as it dries down and stays on your skin a little while, it turns into a nice fruity fragrance. I think this one is perfect for big boy season. I would say it's hoodie season, but as I sit here at 2 a.m. Shooting this video in Alabama, it's about 70 degrees outside, and it's the last few days of October. As a matter of fact, tomorrow's my Pop's birthday. Happy birthday, Pops. Even though I know you won't see this video, just gonna take time out for just a second to shoot my Pops a happy birthday. It's actually my stepdad, if we're being legal and technical about it, but he raised me from the time I was a little pop. And as a former stepdad myself, it is hard to raise another man's child. It's hard to make sure somebody else's kids eat, you know. But that's my pop, that's my dad, that's who I consider my father. Nothing against my biological, but you know, it is what it is. But anyway, I say that to say late October, damn near November, and it's 70 degrees at night in Alabama. 67 to be exact, but still. And I said that to say it's supposed to be hoodie season. Next week it's gonna turn into hoodie season, and this is one that I will definitely reach for. Great date night scent, because again, you get some warmth, you get a little bit of spice, but you get a lot of sweetness. The thing about the sweeter fragrances, women like them for some reason, and they come across as very cozy and very cuddly. They don't come across as if you're trying too hard. Last video, Men Lie, Women Lie, you know, we talked about fragrances that can be too abrupt and too abrasive, and women don't necessarily like them. This is the complete opposite of rough and abrasive, or rough and abrasive. It's not that. It's the complete opposite. It's a chill, come here, come cuddle with me type of scent. Not the best performing type of fragrance, but that's okay. It doesn't have to stay on for days and days and days. We've got to get past that in fragrance, especially if it's one that you can get for about $20 to $25. If you get 4 to 5 hours out of a fragrance that you paid $25 for, and you get 10 wearings out of it, haven't you gotten your money back? I mean, honestly. So if you buy this fragrance and you wear it 10 times and then give it to your nephew, I mean, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think you'll be giving this away. I think this is a nice fragrance. And again, think easy to wear, cuddle scent, sweet, spicy, and dry down to a little bit of a fruitiness. From the house of Paris Hilton, it is Paris Hilton Gold Rush. And I tried my best not to like that fragrance. And again, I don't hear nobody talking about that gem right there. I don't. I mean, yes, if you search it, you're going to see videos of it, but it doesn't make anybody's list. Nobody, you know, it's like, this is one you need to go out and get. And I don't understand it. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going down the rabbit hole, but that's a fragrance that you need to pick up. And you can, I've seen that fragrance a lot at Burlington. Don't think I've ever seen it at TJ Maxx or places like that, but I know you can get it on Fragrance X or Fragrance Net. But I know I've seen it at Burlington. This next one at one time was a staple at Ross. And I'm gonna tell you how good this one smells. I sent it to a friend of mine for her son. She smelled it. Her and her son loved it. She went out and bought it and sent me a bottle back because it smelled that good. And I'm just being honest with you. This fragrance is good. From the house of, I don't know who the house is. It's Real Madrid. I don't know what the house is on this. Great looking bottle. Very solid bottle. And again, this one is very appropriate for this time of the year. What would normally be hoodie season, it had a heat wave not broken out. And it's going to be 81 degrees tomorrow, and then another 80-degree day Sunday before we cool off again Monday. And it's just ridiculous. But when it does cool off, man, this is one, guys. If you like to rock your flannel shirts, you know, whatever you wear in the wintertime. I'm a big sweater guy. I'm a big hoodie guy. I like clothes like that in the winter. Love my joggers with my hoodies. It's comfortable, but it's nice and neat. Even a nice pair of jeans and a hoodie and the right sneakers, you could be considered as dressy this day and time. That's how casual society is. But nonetheless, this fragrance right here, man. And this is about a $12 or $13 fragrance. And it's just good. It's just good. And again, similar DNA to some of the other ones. Kind of like Lamal and Spice Bomb, or Lamal and 1 Million, you know, had a love child. You get some of that warmth and that spiciness that you get from 1 Million, and you get some of that that barbershop cleanliness that you get from Lamal and fragrances like Lamal in here. I think any age can pull this off. It's a little bit sweet, a little bit spicy, but it's not a gourmandy type of sweet or a playful type of sweet. It's more of a red hot type of sweet, but it doesn't have that tobacco or anything like that coming behind it to be such a punch in the face. It's very, very wearable, very easy. And guys, if you see this out at TJ Maxx or Ross is where I saw this the most. I don't think I've ever seen this at TJ Maxx, but I know you can get this one online, and it won't cost you any more than $20. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Get this in your collection. Listen to me now, believe me later on. That's just good. That's just good. Real Madrid. Moving on, and I don't hear people talking about these fragrances. I don't see them on anybody's list. I just don't. I don't hear a lot of chatter about them. I don't see people reviewing them. And I really think if your goal is to smell good and to smell good on a budget, because here on this channel, we understand that, you know, we all want replicas and parfums de Marley's and things like that. But the key is to shop wisely and get those fragrances at a good price and treat yourself maybe once or twice a year to a nice fragrance like that. Don't think because your collection doesn't have 60 bottles of this stuff lined up everywhere that your collection is not. Because I've never had a person walk up to me and go, "Oh my God, you're wearing Sedley. Is that Leighton that you got on? Is that Harrod?" Never have I had that happen. Never have I had that happen. And if I'm being 100% honest with you, I've gotten more compliments from my dapper clone of Harrod than I have the actual Harrod. Just saying. But moving along, this next fragrance, I'm gonna use this word again: modern, sweet, playful, complex, and inexpensive. From the house of Abercrombie and Fitch. It is Authentic Nights, and I have hyped this fragrance to the gills. You see the lines on it. Fellas. Now, the thing about this one is there is an Abercrombie and Fitch Authentic as well. I think that one is a vintage clone. I've seen some reviews on that one. It didn't get great reviews. This is a great looking bottle. Look at that. It's just sexy. Has a magnetic cap. It's just sexy. It's really, really sexy. I took this with me to Texas. JP and Manny. And I had several fragrances with me. I think Trussardi Reflesso, which is one that I could have put on this list, but the word is out on Reflesso. People know about Trussardi and his fragrances. And the word is out on Abercrombie and Fitch fragrances as well. They're known to be good fragrances. This one gets overlooked. But when we got in the car and they were smelling fragrances, it took them, they had to come back to this one. But when they came back, because Reflesso blew them away. But when they came back, they was all on this one. They was like, man, that smells good. And it is. Perfect hoodie scent. Perfect cool weather scent. Date night. It has a little bit of a 540 vibe in the top off the nozzle, just a hint. But then it goes in a totally different direction, totally unexpected direction. It kind of reminds me of Fierce and Percival combined. It's like the two combined. But what it is, it's good. It's good. To me, this is a solid. Man, that's just solid. Again, it's a little sweet. It almost comes off at first like it wants to go unisex, and you may even think it's a unisex fragrance. But that dissipates really, really quickly, and then you get that fierce, and you're like, I'm picking up on the fierce DNA. I see what you did, Abercrombie. And then it stays on your skin and it kind of takes a personal time, which makes it a complex fragrance. Now I think this is a 50 ml, and I paid like $30 for this. So that's not dirt cheap. It's not $9 cheap. But for the quality of this fragrance and the presentation, the bottle, the way it looks, I think 30 is a good price for it. I had seen it a few times at Burlington, relatively cheap, and now I don't see it anymore at any of the rack stores. And that's why I pick fragrances like this up at the rack stores when I see them, because when they disappear from the rack stores, they disappear from the rack stores. And then if you have to get them from a gray market like Frag X or Frag's Net, you're gonna pay a little bit more for them. And would I pay $65 for this fragrance? I think so. I think it's worth 50, 60 bucks. And it would be a solid purchase. Am I glad I got it for the 30 range? Yes, I'll tell you. When I took it to the car, I opened it up and smelled it. They had one more on the shelf. I went and bought it. That's how impressed I was. But again, it reminds me of 3 different fragrances. When you smell it off the nozzle, you get a little bit of that Bach 540 sweetness, but just a little. That's very deceiving, because that's not what comes out when you spray it. When you spray it, again, you get a little bit of that that old familiar Abercrombie and Fitch DNA, and then it again quickly dissipates into a little bit of that Percival vibe. So, but nonetheless, I think it's a solid fragrance. And I just don't hear many people talking about it. I just don't. Very, very playful, very gentlemanly, very easy to wear. I can't see anybody telling you smell bad with the fragrance that gives you a little bit of sweetness, and then it comes in, with that oomph that you get from a Percival, mixed in with that smoothness that you get from Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce. What more could you ask for? And it is Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce Authentic Nights. Not to be confused with Authentic. Totally different fragrance. This is Authentic Night. And I love it. I just think it smells good. I've been impressed with that fragrance from the first minute that I smelled it, and I'm still impressed with it. And you just don't hear much talk about it. Again, you find a few reviews on it. People reviewed it because it was hot and it was out, but it's been pushed to the back burner and nobody pays it any attention now. Something is kicking up on my skin. I don't know if it's the Authentic Nights, if it's the Real Madrid, or if it's the that extraordinary or extraordinary that is doing its thing. That is a beautiful fragrance. As it is reaching the mid on my skin, that bad boy is beautiful. And Paris Hilton over here doing what she do. No pun intended. Madrid is good. I mean, they all, guys. Oh, I see you, Authentic Nights. They all smell good. They all smell really, really good. And I'm telling you, you big boyed out with some clean shoes and some joggers and a nice big boy hoodie on and a Scully toboggan, a skull cap, a snug, whatever you want to call it. You spray that on, she ain't gonna leave you alone, I promise you. And this last one, definitely last but not least, is from one of my favorite fragrance houses, especially when you're talking about inexpensive designer fragrances. To me, this is the British version of Calvin Klein, or maybe Penguin. It's either or, and it's Dunhill, and this is Dunhill Man, and this is a cardamom bomb. This is Dunhill's version of, is it Languid de L'Homme by YSL? I mean, the smile on my face, this is a beautiful, beautiful scent. Sweet, captivating, romantic, warm, inviting. See, that's what you guys have got to understand. Whether you married, single, fishing, whichever one however you want to look at it. Whether you're trying to get her to go to the Sizzler, you're trying to upgrade her to the Corral that is golden. You want your fragrance to be alluring and inviting. I grew up in the South, as you all know, listening to Memphis rap, because where I live in Alabama is right on the Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee state line. Like legit, I could be in Mississippi in 10 minutes and probably could be in Tennessee in another 10 minutes in Mississippi. Depending on what part of Tennessee I go to, another 20 minutes. I could be in Mississippi in 10 minutes, Tennessee in 30. So I grew up listening to a lot of Memphis rap. Tila, in one of his songs, he said the name of the game is to be enchanting. And that's what you want to be, and that's what this fragrance is. It's a very charming, cozy, enchanting fragrance. That's right. That's right. That's what this is. It's inviting. It just invites her to want to come and just get closer. And if you think about it, think about what I'm saying. Like if you wear 1 Million or Spice Bomb or something strong like that, hey, it works. It works in the cold. I get it. They're going to smell you across the room. But if you're sitting on the couch, you didn't pay for the Golden Corral, you're trying to put your little arm around it because y'all went to Netflix part of the chill. And you don't want the fragrance to be so strong that she like, ooh. And you know how females extra. You know they extra dramatical anyway. So that's not what you want. You want her when she come in for that cuddles. You want it to be like, ooh, you smell good. And then you know how they do that little thing. Ooh, you smell good. And they put your hand on the chest. Ooh, where the taco meat is. Ooh, y'all know. But yeah, that's how. Yeah, that's what this fragrance is. I mean, that sums this fragrance up. That just sums it up. Ain't nothing else to say about it, bro. That's it. If you spray that on, she won't leave you alone. And it's just Dunhill Man. That's the only one that I haven't seen at a rack store. The rest of these I purchased at a rack store, and I've seen them at rack stores. And again, I'll be honest, I've only seen this one time at a rack store, and I am so glad that I bought it. That just smells good. If Tom Ford had made this fragrance, it would be one of the most talked about fragrances in FragCon. Just saying. And I'll say the same thing for this. If MFK had made this fragrance, maybe with better ingredients, so it would be much, much stronger, I think everybody would talk about this fragrance. I think it would be a household name and everybody would be trying to get it. Now, it smells amazing. Is it the strongest fragrance? No. It's just right. Again, it's not one that's gonna knock people down when they walk by you or when you walk by them, but it does smell good and it will definitely get the job done. And again, it's a very alluring, sexy fragrance. Abercrombie & Fitch. I almost said Fierce. Abercrombie & Fitch Authentic Nights. All of these smell good. All of them you can get on a budget. Again, I can't promise you this on a price. I've seen it for as much as 110, but I've also seen it for 50. I've paid $9 for it. If you can get it for 50, I think you would be very, very satisfied. Honestly, I think if you could get it for 100 and you actually got it home, I think you'd be satisfied still. But I'm not going to tell you to pay that for it when I know what I paid for it, $9.99. But anyway, happy Saturday. I'm gonna get off here. Hope you watch this video before your team starts to play ball. So I'm gonna get off here, edit it, thumbnail it, get it up. Hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful Saturday and enjoying your weekend. Spraying all these fragrances always makes me thirsty. By the end of the video, my mouth is like, but anyway. Hope all of you have a beautiful, beautiful weekend and enjoy yourself. Take some time out to do something for yourself. Just you. Life is short and it is tough. So as we as men, we gotta stick together. So if you need anything, email will be in the description. Let me know. If you want a decant of this, let me know. If you just need to chop it up sometime, just shoot me an email. We can go from there. Maybe we can exchange phone numbers or whatever. Chop it up. You know, I'm not like some of these YouTube fragrance celebrities. I feel like he too good to talk to y'all. I'm just an old country boy that like fragrances. So with that being said, I'm gonna get off of here, thumbnail it, edit it, all of that stuff so you guys can see it. Happy Saturday. Go Irish. Thank you all for returning to the scene of the crime and for always, always, always being the best part of my channel. I love you all. God bless you all. Till next time, guys. Peace.